Welcome to the Babbles Nonsense podcast, where I'm your host, Jonna Grimes, and we're here to discuss any and all things, but especially the shit that I want to talk about. Because let's face it, I have a lot of shit to say, and after all, you are listening to my verbal diary. Let's get started. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Babbles Nonsense podcast. I'm here with Lash by Lindsay. I have been wanting to know more about lashes, so I just reached out to her on Instagram and was like, hey, girl, can we do a podcast? And she luckily said yes. So welcome, Lindsay, to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So I have been watching your lashes for a long time on Instagram, and then I know a lot of friends at the hospital who have them. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just want to know more about them because as a female, lashes make you just feel gorgeous. Like, you don't even have to have any other makeup on. It's just like, here's my lashes, and here we go.
Wake up and go. Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Okay. And I just want to know kind of the background. Like, how did you get involved in doing lashes, or why did you choose this as a career?
Okay. So, funny story. Whenever I actually started this, I was working full-time. I'm a single mom. I worked full-time at a screen printing company doing sales there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
did not know that.
Yeah, I did sales and their social media at the screen printing company. So I had a friend who did aesthetics, and she did makeup as well, like with her aesthetics. And this was before, I guess, lashes kind of was a big thing in Huntsville, or I guess right in the beginning of the boom, because I feel like it's big now. But she had said that there was a training course in like Mississippi or something like that. And I was like, oh, you should do it. And she's like, I feel like you're like pushing me to do this. Like, I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it because you won't like leave me alone. So she did it. She did my lashes. Like, she was the first person that ever did my lashes. And she was like, yeah, I hate this. Like, she never.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She did some people's like friends and stuff like that. She never came out like, hey, I'm doing lashes now. Like, she hated it so bad. So I was like, I cannot believe you hate that. Like, it goes great with everything you're doing. She's like, yeah, I told you that this was just for you. I just did it for you. Like, you know, like, you're living through me. But at the time, whenever I was working, like, there was no way. I had recently got divorced. There was no way that I could, you know, branch out and do anything like that. But whenever I was younger, I wanted to go to hair school. I've always really been in, like, you know, into the beauty industry and stuff like that. But my parents, neither one of them went to college, and you know how that is. They're like, no, you're going to college. Like, you are not, you're just being lazy. You just don't want to go to college. And I was like, okay.
It's crazy. Like, not to interrupt you, it's crazy how many of my people that I interview say that, like, college was not for them. Yeah. And then they found this creative outlet.
Yes.
So I think that's 100%. Amazing.
Yes. I went to college. I went to Chattanooga, wasting my parents' money. I mean, they paid for, you know, apartment for 2 years. And I'm like, yeah, no, I still had no idea what I wanted to do. So anyways, back to my friend. I couldn't go to Mississippi or anything like that. Single mom, you know, didn't want to forfeit any of my time with my son. So actually saw where there was a training course in Huntsville, like Huntsville based, Beauty Bar Lash, Jamie Red. I shot her over a message and I was like, hey, like, I asked her so many questions. She was probably like, oh my gosh, please go on. But she's great. She's wonderful. So I did that. I took a classic course, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try this on the side and see if I can dip my toe into it. Maybe one day I can go back to hair school or something like that, because again, like, love everything beauty industry. So, did that in October, and I think, by like November, December, whatever year it was, I guess, I've been doing it 3 years now. Yeah, I was like, wow, this is great. I mean, it just blew up.
And then you just loved it.
Loved it.
So did you go from, so you were doing marketing and screen printing. Did you just start lashes as like a side hustle? And then you're like, you know what? No, I can make a career of this.
Yes, 100%. So whenever I took Jamie's course, I told her too, I was like, do you think I could do this like on every other weekend, like when I have my son, you know, and like, that was my goal. how dumb of me. Like, there's no way I can do this. Like, okay, here, yeah, you come in and you're going to be strictly on the weekends that I have my son. Like, it just did not work out like that. So then before I know it, I'm like, you know, oversaturated and like, wow, I have no time for anything
other than just lashes.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I did both for, actually this January was my first whenever I started doing it full time.
Okay.
But
that's awesome.
yeah.
And it's obviously been well for you because like I said, I know a lot of girls at the hospital that do it because when you work with nurses, like it's word of mouth and it's like, oh, who did your lashes? And then everyone just kind of comes on.
Exactly. That's exactly how it is. Yep.
So we talked about creativity and then you liked aesthetics and creativity. So I don't think a lot of people realize how much creative thinking goes into a lash. Like, it is not a one size fits all. I'm sitting here talking like I know. I do not know.
No, that is exactly right.
But like, it's kind of like I was talking to her before we started the podcast. Like, somebody will probably bring a picture to you and say, I want to look like this girl. And then you have to be like, well, you're not going to look like that girl because your eyes are different or things like that. So what's the process in that? Do you just have the eye for it and you say, you know what, I think you would look great in this? Or do you, like, is it a mix of doing what the customer wants versus like what you think would look better? Yeah,
I definitely think that there is a little bit of a mix. Now, going back to me just saying like, oh, I want to try it. You know, it wasn't like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do lashes like on the side. You know, obviously I did have a passion for beauty and everything like that. So I think that it definitely does take a creative eye and maybe not. So you're going to come in and you're going to tell me like, oh, I want this cat eye and these lashes are like up to your eyebrow. I'm like, that's going to damage all of your lashes. Like, we're not going to do that. You know what I mean? So it is a lot of like mixing like, okay, yeah, she wants this, but obviously that's not going to be ideal for her. Now, I think what does set you apart is being upfront with your clients and telling them.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah.
I'd rather you tell me like, hey, look, this is not going to look good versus you doing it and then I'm upset that my lashes are damaged.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Yeah. It's like, you know, you can go to anybody and they can put a 15 on your lash and you might not can handle that, but the difference is like, are you going to be able to come back in 2 and 3 weeks with your natural lashes still being healthy or not, you know?
Well, since we're going to go out of order a little bit because it makes more sense to talk about the safety now, just like you talked about, because the number one question that I got when I did my little Q&A box was, what is the safety for your lashes? Like, am I going to be bald with no lashes when these come off? Or
well, I mean, just to be totally transparent, I do tell my clients it's completely based on each individual person. Now, I have some people who've been with me since I started, and have never taken a break. And then I have some that I'm like, yeah, we need to take a break. You know, it just really depends on you, your natural lashes, what style you're getting and everything. Can you be bald? Can they cause damage? Definitely. They definitely can. If, you know, I can counsel you so much on, you know, I don't think we should go this long, or I don't think we should, you know, do this. But at the end of the day, it's what you want. And if you keep, you know, no, I want to go a little longer, I'm like, okay, then we might need to take a break. Yes.
So is it all based on, I didn't know this, but there's different lengths and weights of lashes.
Yes.
So if someone goes too long or too heavy for their natural lash, that's obviously going to break and damage their lash. But let's say we just do a natural, classic, light, normal length lash. Would that would give you more longevity with your natural lashes?
Again, it really does just all depend on how long you wear them. Also, what a lot of people don't know is, you know, if you are a face sleeper, a rough sleeper, anything like that, it's going to cause damage no matter what. Yeah. So, yeah. Also, I'm trying to think of what else. Sorry, I just went blank.
No, I'm a side sleeper and I go to the gym and I rub my eyes a lot. Yep. And
so it wouldn't matter if you got the shortest length, the lightest lash. I mean, it still could cause damage. Potentially everyone could cause damage. The most important part is going to a trained, you know, lash artist who is going to keep the integrity of your natural lashes in mind, not just, you know, go out and give you caterpillars.
which we see a lot. And
we do.
I see them in the hospital. I'm like, girl, just stop. Like, this ain't attractive. It's not cute. And obviously, you as a lash artist don't want to put something on someone, even if they want it, that 100%. Looks horrible, because that's your representation of your brand.
Exactly.
Like, you're trying to build a brand here, and if someone's walking out of your studio looking like a butterfly or a caterpillar, you're just like,
no. Yeah, I had this young client one time, and she said she wanted 15s all the way across, and she was like, I like to feel them whenever they're blowing in the wind. I was like, oh god. I was like, are you sure? And this was when I really, first started. She's like, yeah, I really want that. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not taking a picture of it.
And it's not going on my Instagram.
Don't tell anybody I did this.
No, I've even had hairstylists, like you said, like if I've gone in and I'm like, I want, like my hairstylist, Lindsay, also Lindsay, I'm like, I want to go all blonde. She's like, I'm not doing it.
No.
And I was like, but let me go all blonde. And she's like, hell no, girl. But she tells me, she's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You want to go to someone else who's going to ruin your hair? By all means, do it.
Exactly.
But she tells me all the time, she's like, no, absolutely not. And I think I do find that commendable
100%.
Because it proves that you're not just out here trying to make a buck.
Exactly.
You truly believe in what you're doing. You truly care about what the person looks like.
Yes.
And I truly think that is commendable as a professional and an artist.
Right. And that's what I tell my people too. Whenever like some people ask me that, I'm like, think of it as your nails. You go get your nails done. Even if you take your nails off, there's going to be a little bit of difference for a little bit, regardless of how well you take care of them, how great the person is. It's just you're altering this natural thing on your body. It's not going to be the same, maybe for a little bit. It's not going to be, completely damaging, to where it can't come back or anything like that. But there is going to be a little bit of a difference to it, maybe, for a little bit. But I always tell people too, like, I'm not in the business to ruin your lashes. I want you to keep coming back. Like that's not what I'm here for. So.
This is how I make my money to pay my bills. Yes. I'm not trying to get you to not come back.
I don't want you to have one lash, because what can I do with that?
No, going back, how you said this kind of blew up in Huntsville. So I lived in Nashville in 2017, and it was huge. Lashes were huge in Nashville, and it wasn't in Huntsville yet.
Right.
And the girls I worked with at Vanderbilt, they had a lot of lashes. And do you know the prices that Nashville charges?
Oh, I can only imagine.
$300 for a full set.
Oh my god.
No lie. $300 for a full set, and then a fill is like $150.
Oh my god.
And I was like, y'all are crazy. I'm not paying that much money for my lashes. Like, that's some hair extensions.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
No, yeah. So I just thought that was a tidbit. Like, so speaking of pricing, do you get that a lot? Like, people are like, why is your prices so high? Or
not really.
Okay, that's great. Because I know that some people, they like you said, like they just try to backwoods it, I guess, or try to do it themselves. Like, and it's just kind of like, you get what you pay for in any aspect.
100%.
Like, your lashes, do you want them to fall out?
Yep.
Do you, like hair extensions? Do you want to go to some guy who's going to charge you $20 and all your hair is going to fall out? So you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
For sure.
100%. Yep.
All right. So next question, caring for your lashes. I know you post about this a lot on your Instagram, because it is a huge thing that kind of goes back to the damage that you can do. Because like you said, you can only do so much as your artist and tell you what to do, but someone actually it's kind of like brushing your teeth. Your dentist can only clean your teeth and fix them so much, but you are responsible for brushing them at home.
Right. 100%.
So let's go into the caring for your lashes and like what that entails, and what do you want your clients to do when they care for their lashes?
Okay. So honestly, the first thing would be, like, I'm going to ask you, do you sleep on your stomach? Are you a rough sleeper? Anything like that? I feel like that is the biggest, maybe like damaging factor or retention killer that I have noticed with my clients. If you're like, yeah, I sleep on my belly, then I'm like, oh no.
This ain't gonna work.
Can we switch this over? But so obviously gonna brush them, wash them with a lash wash or anything like that. If you wear makeup, no mascara at all. That is a retention killer, and you're already adding weight to your lashes anyway, so the added weight on top of that.
But why would anyone want to put mascara on lashes?
I have no idea.
Like, they're already
they're
better than mascara.
Exactly. I don't know. I struggle with that too, and some of my clients have said, like, I had to put on mascara, like, whenever I was needing a fill, and I'm like, Okay, so the 5 lashes you had just left with the mascara. Like, okay.
Because I mean, can you even really clean that off? That's probably even hard to clean off because you're gonna have to be super rough.
Right. So the more friction that you create with your lashes, with your extensions, the more they're gonna come off. So
Yeah.
I really I don't know. I don't get that. But obviously brushing and cleansing them regularly. Also, in the summertime, I have a lot of people who actually take their lashes off in the summertime, which is crazy.
Yeah, I would think it would be the opposite.
Yeah, but the pool, ocean water, lake water, all the stuff of the summertime, they just
don't last as long because they're getting wet more.
Right. And so if you are like me and you're like, I am never taking my lashes off, it's just important that you at least I keep a bottle of water with me whenever I go to the beach, and I'm like pouring water on my lashes when I get out, and I'm sure people are like, what is she doing?
So speaking of going to the pool and stuff, so if you do want to have lashes in the summer, can you get in the pool?
You can, but the most important thing is to make sure you rinse whenever you get out. So anything you leave on your lashes, even lash wash, even like micellar water or anything, if you leave it sitting on there, it's going to break down that bond, and they're going to come out.
Gotcha. And so speaking of washing your lashes, now is a lash wash different than just using soap and water or your normal face wash?
Yeah, it needs to be oil free, and it needs to be like something mild or very light, because honestly the oil that's in your face wash or anything like that, I mean, even if it says oil free, I mean, I feel like it's just too harsh for the the glue.
Yeah. And how do you dry your lashes? Like if you get out of the shower, do you just say pat them with a towel, or is that a no-no, or do you blow dry them with a blow dryer?
Yes, that's what I do. Blow dry with a blow dryer and your spoolie, and just put it on the cool setting and just fluff it up.
Okay. And so when people say it's a lot of maintenance, it really isn't.
No.
Like it's just you just dry them real quick, and then if you really think about it, then you're not spending that 5-10 minutes trying to put mascara on.
And then if you go outside, I mean, I love them. I will never not have them.
Well, I mean, I had them for a brief moment in time, and you got up and went, and you didn't even have to have a full face of makeup on, because it just looked like you were like, okay, I'm ready.
Yep.
Like it's just fresh faced and ready to go.
Yep.
Especially when I was at the gym, I was like, because I have blonde eyelashes naturally, so if I don't have mascara on, I look like a cancer patient.
Me too.
Listen, people are always like, if I just choose to not wear mascara to work one day, people are like, Are you feeling okay?
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I feel fine.
Yes, I'm just ugly. Thank you. That's how I feel every time. I'm like,
I do too. So when I did have some lashes one time, I don't know what. I'm trying to figure out how to word this.
Yeah.
So I got them on, and I think they put a volume set on, which I didn't need because I have a lot of lashes.
Yeah, you have good lashes.
And I don't know if I had an allergic reaction or what happened, but my whole sclera was red. It was hurting.
Puffy.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
I had to call my esthetician. I was like, can you get these off my face? I was like, and she was like, oh, you shouldn't do this again. So I don't know. But I don't think it was a glue. I think it was that pad.
Yes.
It was too close to cause I'm really bad about telling people that something's hurting.
Yeah. You just sit there and take it.
Yeah. Every time I would blink, I felt that just cutting. So I think it cut my eye. But do you have people that are allergic to the glue?
So there are people who are allergic to the pads, which I have some hypoallergenic pads that I do
wonderful.
use for them. And then yes, I do have some people who are allergic to the glue.
Oh, that would suck.
Yes. So, but I had found this hack that I do. Now, I'm not sure if this is what I'm supposed to do, but it works. And I tried it on my friend first before. I was like, hey, girl, I know you. She texted me one morning. She's like, I woke up and I look like Forrest Whitaker. I was like, okay, do you want to take them off? She's like, no, I'm just going to suffer through it and take Benadryl. So anyways, but I have found if you put some cortisone on the eyelid, that before and after the fill, it really helps.
Well, that would make sense because it's just a sensitivity to that area.
Right.
Okay.
And then the hypoallergenic pads underneath. It's worked for all of my clients that I have, found that they.
Now, do they make a glue that's
sensitive?
More?
They do, yes.
But the
retention is just not there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near. It doesn't compare.
So what is a good retention? Like if someone comes in, what is good retention?
So good retention would be if you get, say for example, like a volume set. I mean, you should be able to go 3 weeks with a volume set.
Okay.
That would be good retention. If you are getting volume and you're like coming in at 3 weeks and you've got like a couple fans hanging on, I'm like, what you doing, sis? Like, what are we doing?
Well, I mean, that would make it harder for you too, because if you expect a certain time frame, see, I'm so like, if it were me, I'd be like, you're gonna have to send me a picture before you come, so I know how much time this is gonna take, so we're not ruining my day here.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, there are people who do have fine lashes that a volume set really, they might have to come in at 2 weeks, or they just might like to be that fluffy, you know, that consistent fluff. So I mean, that's fine too. But if you're asking me, what I would say good retention would be like a 3 week volume.
3 weeks. Okay.
Now classic is a strict 2 week. I rarely see people who can go 3 weeks with classic set.
Just because it's not as much?
It's just a 1-to-1 application, whereas the volume, it wraps around the actual lash, and the classic lash just sits right on top. So
okay.
Yep.
So how long does a set of lashes, like if you come in for a full set, if someone's a new client, like how long does it take you to put on a full set?
It just depends on many different factors. If they're getting classic, hybrid, or volume, how many natural lashes they might have. Anywhere from 2.5, 3 hours, depending on the service and their lashes.
Gotcha. And what is your favorite lash to do? Like, do you like classics more, hybrid more? Do you have like a favorite, like, this is what I like? Obviously you love doing lashes, but like, is there something, since you're so into aesthetics, like, God, this just makes your eye pop, girl? Like,
I would say, I guess I do probably 80% of my clients have hybrid, but I love volume.
Really?
Yeah.
You just love the volume?
Yep.
Good. And then I know we talked on this briefly, but like good candidates, because obviously everyone can't get everything. Like I know, like with lash or hair extensions, like if you have fine brittle hair, it may be too heavy for your hair. Yes. Is there good versus bad candidates?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
It seems like the older, you know, that we get, our lashes thin out and they, you know, become more sparse. So I actually have a client who, she had been getting volume for a while, and she was like, I think it's a little bit too much. Can we go down to classic? I was like, that's not going to work on you. Yeah. It's just not. So, I mean, yeah, if you have, you know, fine lashes, they just might not work. Or I would definitely suggest going with a hybrid or volume, just because classic, again, it's just not going to.
And then I guess, like you said multiple times, if you're a stomach sleeper, this just may not be something for you.
Yep. I mean, I used to think, you know, if you're like heavy into working out and stuff, it might not be good for you. But one of my clients, actually, she works out every day, and she works out like outside all the time. She's outside all the time with her kids. Like, she has the best retention. I'm like, okay, I rescind that statement. Yeah. Like, the stomach sleeper, I'd say probably that's a big killer. And then I've also noticed too, like if you use an under eye cream.
Oh, okay.
That transfer whenever you go to sleep.
That would make sense.
Yep, they just slide right off.
And so now that we've talked everything lashes, is there anything else that you want to add about your lashes, or anything that we haven't covered before we go into just some simple beauty tips?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so.
So I just kind of wanted to touch briefly on some beauty tips, because obviously you like aesthetics, and you said that kind of what drew you to it. Yeah. So let's pretend someone doesn't, or they're not a good candidate, and you're like, a strip lash may be better. Oh, do you like strip lashes?
Yes, 100%. I mean, I've had people too who come in and lashes just don't work for them, and that's fine. They are not for everybody. Yeah. That's a big thing.
Do you have a favorite brand of strip lashes that you think is maybe better?
Oh gosh, I guess I used to like the Kiss ones, but I know that Ardell is big, but I liked Kiss, and back before my lash days, I used to get mine from the dollar store.
Really?
Yes. They had the best ones there. They were like the little clusters, and just glue them on the end. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I would love to do strip lashes. I can't figure out for the life of me how to put them on. They always end up like in the middle of I can't do it. Can you do a tutorial on your Instagram?
Oh my gosh. No. I'm like, no, because I can't do them either. I tried to wear them whenever
I can't do them.
I know. They're so uncomfortable.
Like, I just can't do it.
I feel like people who come and get their lashes done for the first time, who are like, you know, strip lash wearers, they're like, they open their eyes, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't feel them. I'm like, yeah, that's the beauty of the lash extensions.
So what about, have you seen this new thing, this Lashify, where you're supposed to be able to put extensions on yourself? They're not like real, like they're like clusters, like maybe
they glue like underneath.
Yeah, so like you put the glue on and then you put these lashes on and they make it look so easy. Yeah. Have you seen that?
I've seen it. Now I don't know. I don't know about those.
Well, let me just tell you.
Okay.
I got the Ardell ones from Target, and it ain't easy to put on.
Yeah.
They fall off. Yeah. They're up here. They're not easy like they make them.
I follow these, like, you know, house influencers on Instagram, and I feel like a lot of them do it, and they look great on them, but I'm just like, you're gluing all of your lashes. That goes against everything that you're taught. Yeah, like, you're gluing 5 lashes together to hold, like, this cluster, or more than 5. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, so if we're talking about ruining your lashes, that might be the way to do it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
And then, so, mascara. Not for your lash extensions, but just for regular lashes. Do you have a favorite mascara that you think makes those lashes pop?
I actually love, it's a drugstore one, just Maybelline Falsies.
Oh, really?
I love that one. That's what I wear on my bottom lashes anyway.
Well, your bottom lashes look great. Speaking of that, this I've heard that you're not supposed to wear mascara on your bottom lashes or it'll transfer. Is that true?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've heard that too, but I wear it.
And you've never had issues?
Yeah, just wash your lashes and it's fine.
Okay. And then have you heard of those bottom lash extensions? Do you do those?
Nope, I don't.
I feel like that would be so hard
to do. I know.
They're so little.
Yeah, I can't imagine that the retention would be good for those because it's just such fine lashes down here.
Yeah.
And you know, you're not supposed to rub when you have lash extensions, you're not supposed to rub your eye anyway. So I find myself rubbing from the bottom, you know?
Yeah.
So I just, stay away from it.
And so, sorry, last question, I think. The mink lash extensions, is that a thing?
I feel a lot of distributors sell what they call a mink lash, but let's just be honest too. It's probably not real, first of all, but if it is, this is a animal. Yeah. It's not sanitary. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, you want to put this animal's fur on your eyeball? Like, how do you just
talk about butterflies?
Yeah. No, just no.
All right, girl. So I want to thank you so much for doing this with me and tell everyone how they can reach you. I don't think you're accepting new clients right now.
Currently, no.
But in the off chance you do,
yes.
How can they reach you?
On Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. My phone number and email is on there. So Lash by Lindsay on Instagram, or you can call the salon.
And what salon are you at?
I'm at Jane Salon in
and
Huntsville.
That's behind Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
Not Salon by JC like I went to before this podcast.
Everybody
that was my bad.
Everybody thinks it. Everybody does. Like, if you're a new client, they're always going there. I'm like, it's not at Whole Foods. It's behind it. So.
Well, I want to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to interview you and how you got started in this. And this will be out next Tuesday, everyone. So until next time, bye.
Bye.